Hello, everyone. Today's article is titled London Subways Hit by Strike. It tells how a 5-day walkout in London's underground disrupted millions of commuters, sparked a surge in bike and bus use, and raised questions about labor relations and city resilience. The story highlights not only the wage dispute, but also how a strike can reshape travel habits and urban planning. Let's pause for a moment before we move into the article. We'll watch a short clip related to today's topic. As you watch, think about what ideas or questions it brings to mind.
Well, I think they're great. I mean, it's a really good way to get around. Can't use the tube, obviously. I've come from Paddington and I need to get here and there's no other way really. So I bought my helmet and I made it. Unfortunately, I had a flat tyre, but it's super quick and convenient. So yeah, it's been great.
Now that we've seen the clip, let's take a step back. Before we dig into the details, it helps to explore a broader idea behind the story. This will guide how we understand what follows. This brings us to the theme of strikes in public life. When unions walk out, the impact is immediate and visible. Commuters stranded, businesses slowed, and emergency services under strain. Yet strikes are also a tool for workers to demand fair pay and safe conditions. They reveal the tension between individual inconvenience and collective bargaining rights. London's recent strike reminds us that labor disputes are not just about contracts, they reshape how a whole city functions. Are frequent transit strikes an acceptable way for workers to negotiate better conditions, or do they unfairly punish the public? Transit strikes highlight a deep dilemma. On one hand, unions argue they have little leverage without the ability to halt service. Negotiations only move when disruption is real. For workers facing inflation, long shifts, and safety risks, striking can feel like the only option left. On the other hand, the public bears the brunt. Millions struggle to reach worker appointments, small businesses lose customers, and emergency services face delays. Over time, repeated strikes can damage public sympathy and push governments to intervene harshly. The challenge is balance, protecting workers' rights without paralyzing cities. London's strike shows that while labor action is powerful, its true success lies in whether it leads to lasting solutions, not just short-term standstills. Now, to understand this article better, we need to familiarize ourselves with key vocabulary. We'll go over 3 important expressions, learn their meanings, and see them in action with example sentences. Let's start with ripple. It means to move in small waves, or metaphorically, to spread outward with indirect effects. In the article, the strike's effects rippled through the city, changing commuting habits. Here is an example. News of the merger rippled through the industry, affecting competitors and suppliers alike. Next, we have scramble. It means to rush or struggle to do something, often in a chaotic way. In the article, commuters scrambled for alternatives like bikes and buses. Here is an example. Shoppers scrambled to grab the last items on the shelf before the sale ended. Finally, let's look at paradigm shift. It refers to a fundamental change in approach or underlying assumptions. In the article, observers describe the strike as a paradigm shift in how Londoners think about commuting. Here is an example. The rise of remote work created a paradigm shift in office culture. Now that we've explored the main themes and vocabulary, let's reinforce our understanding with a summary dictation exercise. Listen carefully and fill in the blanks. In September 2025, London's tube network nearly shut down during a 5-day strike by thousands of workers. Commuters scrambled for alternatives, with bike use tripling and buses, boats, and walking routes jammed. The union said a 3.4% pay raise failed to match inflation and that exhausting shifts broke past agreements. Service has resumed, but the strike may have resulted in some longer-term changes. Many Londoners found that cycling and mixed travel were not only feasible, but preferable. Let's check the answers and review what each word means. The first answer is shut down. It means to stop operating or close completely. The second answer is tripling. It means increasing to 3 times the original amount or level. The third answer is resumed. It means to begin again after being stopped or interrupted. The fourth answer is feasible. It means possible or practical to do or achieve. The fifth answer is preferable. It means more desirable or better than another option. Well done, everyone. We've explored how strikes disrupt daily routines but also spark creativity in how people move around cities. We also learned vocabulary to describe ripple effects, urgent responses, and long-term change. Here's a final reflection. How might widespread cycling during strikes permanently change a city's transportation habits? We'll revisit this in our next review session. Until then, keep reflecting on how short-term crises can create lasting urban transformations.